We're not going to get a second chance in the game.
Off and rolling. Great to be here today with Coach Nate. Had an opportunity to sit and talk with his dad, Larry, before the presentation today, and appreciate the angle of what they're doing. Would encourage others to share chiefpigskin.com. And I was talking to his dad, and there's still room for this, and there's still some times that I've done this. But when I first got into coaching, I remember how excited I would be on a Friday morning getting ready to leave to go to a weekend clinic. I mean, I was like, I can remember getting some new jackets in like 90, 92, 93 when I was at Montgomery County, and I was mad because it was so warm, I couldn't wear the new jacket that said Montgomery County football because it was hot, and go and spend all weekend at that clinic. Then as I had children, my children got active into doing things, I wasn't as fired up to be away from them. So this is a really neat concept that they have. I have no question that it's going to continue to expand. And so share this with your own coaching staff, your coaching friends, your coaching fraternity, and let's continue to grow chiefpigskin.com. Guys, my name's Jim McKee. I'm the head football coach at Scott County High School in Georgetown, Kentucky, position that I've held for 21 years. I've been very blessed to be there and coached. All three of my sons have come through our program, and I'm going to get started on my presentation, which today is 10 things that will help make your program special and unique. And anytime you make a presentation, I think you're remiss if you don't take the opportunity to thank those that have helped you. So I want to just go through a list of things. I want to thank the principal, Joe Covington, at Scott County High School. He's the sixth principal that I've worked for. And frankly, almost all of those people throughout the course of the years have been very supportive of our program. Your principal and your leadership team can be one of three things: supportive, neutral, or against. You can succeed with supportive, you can succeed with neutral. It's tough if they're against you. And that's one thing that I've always been blessed with, is that we've had principals and leadership teams at our high school that have supported football. I also want to take an opportunity to thank the coaching staff there. They're not my coaches, it's our coaches and our program. Special shout out to a guy named Monty McIntyre, who's our defensive coordinator. He's been there 20 of the 21 years that I've been there. Scott Willard, our offensive line coach, has just finished his 14th season, and Chris Hatfield, our head freshman coach, actually retired from teaching 2 years ago, but has been coaching football and involved in the football program at Scott County High School for 29 years. I also want to say thanks to our players. We're in a player-driven society. I'm going to talk later today about wing tee offense, and I'm going to put up some statistics about we've scored this many points, we had this many yards, we won this many games. We've had good players at Scott County High School, dedicated players that work hard. I would go remiss without saying how much I appreciate my own three sons. I was talking to Coach Larry earlier about coaching Nate, and anybody that's coached their son, it's never perfect. I would not sit and say that coaching Clay, Colby, and Cade that's been perfect, but I'd say this: the positives have far outweighed the negatives. And one thing that I've always tried to keep in mind is that I was their dad first. And so actually we're driving down to win a state championship a few years ago, and Clay's at quarterback, and I'm hollering back and forth plays and things, and as he turns to go to the huddle, he looks back and he said, "Dad." So it's always been dad to our conversations with me on the field, because I am their dad, and hopefully I'll be remembered as being a great father more so than being a great coach. Clay's 22. He's entering his senior year at Georgetown College next fall. Colby's 19. He's a redshirt freshman offensive lineman at Austin Peay. And Cade is 16. He's a sophomore at Scott County High School. Here we are. I'm proud of them, so that's why I put them in there. And I would encourage you, when you present, to thank the people that have helped you. This is when Cade was in 8th grade. It's Colby in the international hat. He was a junior in high school. That's Clay in the Georgetown College football sweatshirt. That's me, and I've got a Michigan State hat on. We have a young man that's at Michigan State right now that played for us, and he sent me that hat, so I wore it with pride. And there's Cade, who had just finished winning a crosstown rivalry game against another middle school in our town. He's in 8th grade in that picture. 10 things behind the scenes to make our program special. I want to talk to you all for just a second before we get into this particular presentation and ask you or challenge you to look at how are you going to approach this presentation. I'm actually in a leadership class right now, working on some stuff with some education for myself, and it talked about presenting. Believe it or not, 50% of what you present is determined by your body language, 40% by your tone, and 10% by your content, according to this presentation that I listened to on leadership. So I'm going to try to be fired up, and hopefully my body language is positive, hopefully my tone is positive, and hopefully what I have to say is positive. So I'm going to ask you, as you approach this presentation or approach a clinic, there are going to be things in here that don't apply to your school. Don't quit watching. Don't say, well, here's how we do it at so-and-so. Watch from beginning to end with an open mind and take one little nugget possibly out of what I've got to say, tweak it or apply it to where you are, and then maybe you can make a difference in your program in one way. You can't take the roadmap at Scott County High School and lay it down where you are. It's not going to work. The community's different. The size of the school is different. The complexion of the staff is different. The setup of your touchdown club is different. Your facilities are different. But hopefully I'm going to give you one thing that'll help your program. Sell season tickets. Funny story. 2015, we're playing at Cincinnati Elder in the Pit. I don't know if anybody's ever been to the Pit, or if you haven't, I would challenge you to get on Google, pause the presentation, get on Google and Google the Pit at Elder High School and take a look at it. It was ranked as one of the top 10 most historic stadiums in the nation by USA Today. It's awesome. It's a bowled-in area, all concrete, and so we're pulling up to play. First time we've ever played there. I get off the bus, athletic director meets me, I stick out my hand, he sticks his out, we make the small talk, welcome, so on and so forth. And I made the mistake of saying, Coach, and it's misting rain, it's early September, misting rain, and I said, man, Coach, I hate that it's raining, it might hurt our crowd a little bit. I know how much we love to make money at home games, and you do too. And he kind of pats me like I'm kind of a young kid, and he was quite a bit older. He pats me on the back and said, son, we've already sold 4,000 season tickets for the year. And this next thing I want to talk about, selling season tickets, we had a huge celebration at our high school. We sold 400. And I remember when we sold 40. So Elder High School doesn't need to listen to me talk about selling season tickets. And maybe you don't, but maybe you have never done it, and I think it will make a difference in your program. We didn't do it. We started doing it several years ago, and I actually brought some, and you can see them on the presentation. I think they're awesome, and here's why. You know, that's number 3, Bryce Fryman, he's a senior. How pumped up were his parents and his family members when they got to see that picture of him on the season ticket? Here's Nick Lolly, senior. Here's Cooper Robb, senior. Here's Josh Davis. So we take a lot of pride in it because we think these tickets look like the tickets you're going to get when you go see the University of Kentucky, or you go see the University of Cincinnati, or you go see whoever. We think they're awesome. We're fired up about them. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about them. Why season tickets? Number one, we all are in if you coach at a high school where you don't have to be driven in some aspect or another by finances, consider yourself super lucky, because I've had to raise money. I'm going to talk about raising money in here for forever, and I'm going to continue to. So number one, you got the money in the bank. So that's what the guy from Elder was telling me that night when he was patting me on the shoulder. He was saying, hey, brother, we already got 4,000 season tickets sold and the money's in the bank. I do wish it was sunny and 70. We could sell a few more cheeseburgers and the crowd might be a couple thousand more, but the money's in the bank. Your fans will love them. We have found that our fans really gravitate towards them. They take a lot of pride in them. They know that they're not going to have to get there early and they're going to have a great seat. Your senior players on the tickets and their families will have an increased sense of pride. And here's where I'm going to go with that. We live in a microwave society to some degree, or an instant success. You read, I saw a presentation, I heard Lane Kiffin talking just maybe 2 weeks ago, and I don't know this to be fact, it was just what he was saying on the Dan Patrick Show, talking about the national championship game and saying, hey, if Tua hadn't gotten in the game, he was transferring. Well, you think about so many people that do transfer. I guarantee you the number of percentage of transfers in high school now is double, triple, quadruple what it might have been 10, 15, 20 years ago. So you want to do as many things as you can to make your football program as fired up as it can possibly be for somebody to be a part of it. You want mom to want their child to play. You want dad to want their child to play. The kid wants to play. And if you can get the kid from, District A to want to go to District B, it makes a big difference. So those are the things that we're always thinking about. Number 4, it encourages support of your program. Number 5, why not? The first year we did it, we sold less than 100. The first year we sold them, we were charging $5 to get in games. That's been several years ago, and we now charge a flat $7 fee. We allow students to buy tickets during the day for $1 at the school. We charge $10 for the season ticket. So there's $3 of extra money that we've got. So why not sell them? Why not give this a try? It's not hard. Sell parking passes. Here is an actual parking pass. These are window hangers. Boom. Goes right in the window. 0057, and it'll say, we'll take a black Sharpie and write Reeves family right there. Then we'll go out to the stadium the day of the game. We'll take these parking passes. We'll set them out. Reeves family, McKee family, Coach Larry, whoever it is. They've got that. We have our ROTC man that, which actually, shout out to Colonel Garcia for doing it, but they're fired up to do it. They enjoy doing it. They feel like they're contributing to our football program. It's an easy fundraiser, guys. If you sell 50 of them at $50 a piece, that's $2,500 that somebody just basically gave you. Your administration is greatly going to appreciate your efforts because they're never going to have to look for a parking spot. I always go to the principal, since we've been doing this, at the beginning of the school year, say, hey, here's 3 parking passes for the game. We play at Toyota Stadium. It's not on our campus. It's the stadium where Georgetown College plays. We share that with them. Hey, here's parking. Do you need more? Here's extra tickets for your, reserved seats for your family members that might be coming. So they're going to love it. We sold over 100 of these this year. So as you go to a game on Friday night, you're going to see all these parking signs set up. You're going to see people coming in and parking, and we're going to have $5,000 extra dollars that we wouldn't have had we not done it. Lastly, number 4, why not? Why not try to sell parking passes at your school next year, make some extra money for your program, promote your program, make everybody feel like they're a part of something special. Boom. Here's a season ticket letter. I brought some of these. Super easy. Okay, you can download a copy of this letter at that website, which reminds me, I was telling Coach Nate, Mandy Hudson, shout out to her, although I doubt she'll ever watch this presentation. She's the school technology coordinator, one of the school technology coordinators for our district. I was able to share this presentation online. I was able to bring all this stuff, and I could stand here and say, if you need to know about sharing presentations online, get with me. I'm an expert. Or I could say, actually get with Mandy Hudson. She did it all. So thank you. But anyway, this is our letter that we're going to mail out. We create a database. It's not hard. You're going to mail that letter out to everybody. You're going to make that letter available at your parent meetings. You're going to make that letter available to your local newspaper, so on and so forth. Get the information out there to the maximum of your ability. Season tickets, staying organized. We use an Excel chart. It's very easy to create the seating chart. We use colors to indicate what's been taken, what's been requested, what's been paid for. We also have one person in charge of this. The first couple years, it was me. Because I know you're sitting there thinking, oh man, I've got to wash the clothes. I've got to run the weight room. I've got to coach offense. I've got to deal with the assistant coaches. I've got to keep the academics straight. I didn't do as good a job as Mandy does, but we got it up and started and running. And now we got a chart. We have the same people in the same seats year after year. We think it's awesome. So season tickets and staying organized with them. All right, number 3. So at this point in time, we've talked about our season tickets. We've talked about our parking passes. Let's talk about this one. Combining your fundraising efforts into one day. Nobody likes to fundraise, but we all have to do it. I guess I shouldn't have put the word all in there. 95% of us have to do it. We've sold everything imaginable. So have you. We've sold candy bars. We've sold candles. We've sold spirit cards. We've sold ads. I just talked to you about season tickets. We get a great idea. A guy comes to my classroom at Scott County High School through a mutual connection. His product is cookie dough. So he sells me on, hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to sell this cookie dough. Normally it's $10 a can. You get $5 because you're awesome and we want your business. We're going to give you $7 or whatever his presentation was. So I'm thinking, well, we haven't ever tried that. Let's sell some cookie dough. So off we go. We get all fired up. We sell all the cookie dough and we sell a bunch. We sell, I want to say $6,000 or $7,000 worth of cookie dough. So we're going to make like $4,000 or $5,000 off the cookie dough. And I got it set up to come in on our open date. I thought, man, I'm going to be smart here. I'm going to take care of this. I don't want this cookie dough delivery taken away from our preparation for our game on Friday. So in comes the U-Haul with all the cookie dough. All right, pulls up to the field house, starts unloading. It's going to be there Tuesday at 4 or whatever. So we start unloading it, and I look down on it. I look on the box and it says, refrigerate immediately. Well, I mean, the cookie dough is all sitting in the middle of the field house. All right, and I've got to get it all delivered before it unthaws. So we frantically go on, we get it delivered, and make a long story short, fast forward 2 weeks. I got not one of these, at least 10 phone rings. Ring, hello, it's Coach. Yeah, this is Larry, and my wife and I, we ordered some cookie dough from and of course, keep in mind now, I've lived in this community for 21 years, so Larry's probably the guy who's 2 pews in front of me in church on Sunday. We ordered 2 things of cookie dough from Clay, your quarterback. And you know what? My wife got that out, and we've got the peanut butter fudge, and we ordered the chocolate chip. And so I'm trying to get ready for the game on Friday, and I'm thinking, Larry, can your wife please just bake the cookies? But that's the kind of stuff that you don't think about that I'm dealing with. Well, I love old Larry, and I'm going to have to see him 2 rows back in the church for the next 10 years. So I say, okay, Larry, give me 24 hours on this. And when we get the peanut butter, could you bring me have your wife bring me a dozen of them? But I mean, that's the kind of stuff that will drive you nuts. So I tried to come up with a formula. How can we raise money for our program, get everybody bought into it, and do it all in one day? So here's the layout of the day. First Saturday in August, always. Why then? Selfishly, we haven't played a game yet, so nobody's mad because their child's not playing and our chance of getting participation is going to go up. Step 1, at 9 a.m., we go to the high school cafeteria, and I'll have a couple moms in charge of it, and we'll do a donation pancake breakfast, meaning we don't charge a certain dollar figure. We just ask everybody to donate. And it's been very successful. So we're going to be there. I'm going to get there early. The parents will get there. They'll get everything set up, and in come the kids, and so on and so forth. And we'll eat pancakes and eggs and sausage, and we get all the stuff donated, or the moms and dads make it. So 9 a.m. to 10, we're having a big pancake breakfast. Now, I asked our assistant coaches to participate in this day. And this is the only time that I asked our coaching staff at our high school to participate in any fundraising, and they know that. So sometime between 9 and 10, the assistant coaches are going to roll in, the freshmen, the sophomore. By 10 o'clock, we've got all the players. Watch myself on that word all. Somebody's dad or mom's always going to call you with the biggest emergency in America. We've got 99.73% of our players there. 10 o'clock, we're going to start our letter writing campaign. And I've got a copy of the letter later in the presentation. I'll summarize it for you. Each child in our program, when they come in as a freshman, creates an address sheet. Somewhere for 10 to 12 addresses on that sheet. What's on that sheet will be 10 to 12 people that they feel comfortable writing a letter to, asking for a donation to support them and support their football program. When they become a sophomore, they're going to get the same sheet back from their freshman year, and their parents are going to be allowed to make any changes. If they would be new to the program, they get a new sheet. So boom, out go the letters from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on that Saturday. It's a form letter with a nice, which is going to be later in the presentation, with a nice little place for them to write a personalized note. In goes the pocket schedule, which I'm going to show you later. Out goes the letter. Step 3, we're going to wash cars. Are we going to make $1 zillion washing cars? No, we're not. But we're going to get all of our kids actively involved in this one day. We're going to go to 4 local businesses in town, set up our car wash, have a coach and a parent assigned to each car wash. We have a parent coordinate the entire day. That might be the only thing that parent does fundraising-wise for the year. So we've got the signs there, we've got the towels there, we've got everything it takes, we've got the car wash stuff. So we're all over town at those 4 spots with guys selling, and we're going to sell spirit cards. And I'm going to show a spirit card here in a minute. Key on the spirit cards, which if some spirit card company is watching me right now, I'm not going to be too fired up. So all complaints to chiefpigskin.com and not me. Don't go with a spirit card company, because they're going to take a portion of your profits. We make our own spirit card, and I'm going to show it to you. Then we go to a printing company in town. We get them to donate the printing. It's great for a lot of reasons. Number one, we sell them for $10, so when you buy one, we're getting $10, not 5, not 6, not 8. Number 2, it helps me and it helps people with our program continue to have good community relations, to walk into a business, to walk into the local Dairy Queen and say, hey, look, here's what we're doing. And they say to me, hey, Coach, no problem. Buy one hamburger, double cheeseburger, get one free, or whatever the thing is that we're going to put on there. Step 5, money turning in the high school cafeteria. Here are our financial goals. We want to raise $1,000 off that breakfast. You can do it. We've done it multiple times. We want to raise $10,000 off the letter writing campaign. And we have done that multiple times. Now, we have a large program with a lot of players in it. Number 3, we want to raise about $1,000 off the car wash. Number 4, $4,000 off the spirit cards. I've done this too, and maybe somebody out there watching when they click in will laugh. Have you ever handed a kid 10 spirit cards, a box of candy bars? Hey, here's your 10 spirit cards. Bring them back. Next Friday's turn-in day. Well, what happens next Friday? They don't all have them. They lost them. What do you do with the kid that lost them? Well, hey, son, you owe me $100 for losing those. Well, they might not have $100. Who knows where the $100 is? So we don't ever give a kid something and say, hey, you take it home. I mean, remember, they might sell the wrong kind of cookie dough, all right, or write it down wrong. So what we're doing when we sell these spirit cards, we're doing it in teams with a coach or a parent with them. We're giving them X number of cards. We're assigning them X location to sell them. And boom, they're gone. when they can get theirs sold, they're done. I've got one assistant coach. He's not too fired up about this day. He's fired up with getting it over with. So he's out of there at 12 o'clock with the Spirit cards. If he's not back by 2 over the last 4 or 5 years, I'd be floored. He sells them. We're going to sell 400 that day. We're going to make $4,000. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to make $16,000 in one day, 7 hours, and then the players and the coaches are done. Now, we're still going to have a concession stand. We're still going to have some season tickets. I'm obviously still going to work for people that want to make donations to our program, but I'm not going to ask our players or our coaches to do anything related to fundraising after this day. Well, I wanted to go in and show you all a challenge letter, and here's one thing: when you make mistakes, which we all do, I think you got to admit to them. And so I'm going to admit here that this is the baseball letter, and it says Scott Willard, head coach. So when I went onto my computer to pull this, I surprisingly and unfortunately pulled the baseball letter. But the football letter is exactly the same. It'll say family and friends, Scott County High School football, our players are helping with the team fundraising, so on and so forth. And then it'll say message, and that's where we ask our kids to write a short message in there. Hey, Uncle Jim, playing wide receiver this year. We're fired up for the season. If you could make a small donation, that would be great. Hope to see you at a game. In goes the pocket schedule. Boom, boom. In goes the self-addressed return envelope. Into the envelope that the kid will sit there and address with help throughout the day. And then, boom, off into the mail it goes. Here's our Spirit card. Pretty cool. Scott County Athletics. We do it across the board. Produced exclusively for Scott County School System. Coupons provided all strictly by local vendors. 100% of all funds go to school groups. So we sell 400. And again, it's 100% profit, so that fires us up. Make pocket schedules. All right. And again, obviously at the end of this presentation, I'm going to leave my email address. I'm super excited to share this with anybody, because when I do, maybe I will get something back from you. But there's our pocket schedule from last year. We do 3,000 of them. We put them in every teacher's mailbox. We've got them at the gate of the games. We give the kids as many as they want. We think it's awesome. And again, same thing. Those 4 kids that are on the cover are awesome kids from great families. And they love that. That fires them up to see themselves on the cover of our pocket schedule. So don't just make a pocket schedule would be my recommendation, but don't just make a small, black and white pocket schedule that's the same and generic every year. Make it awesome. Make it neat. Promote your program. Just throwing this idea out here. The lady's name was Shannon Branch. She was a great lady. She helped us. She had a son, Thorne, played offensive guard for us. She's running middle school football, booster club, touchdown club, concessions, or whatever one year, and they play right there at our practice field. So, of course, I'm having to have interaction with her, and she's, I can tell, be somebody that I would want to have help us as her son move forward. And so I'm talking to her about helping the next year, and she said, Coach, we got to do this. And I'm thinking, okay, wonder what we got to do. And so she goes through this big story about, hey, we made every kid this year at the middle school, every kid, bring a case of water and a 12-pack of soda at the parent meeting. And we have had to not buy anything but Gatorade for our concession stand. So I said, oh, yeah, sure, we'll do it next year. So I half-heartedly, she ought to hit me in the head for not, I half-heartedly supported her and half-heartedly encouraged our players to do it. And then all of a sudden, of course, we've got about 130 guys. I looked up, we've got cases of water everywhere. We've got 12 packs of soda everywhere. I'm like, this lady's got a great idea. So every year now, we're going to have 130 cases of free water. We're going to have 130 12 packs of soda, and we're going to stock we play our freshman JV games at our practice field / football complex. We don't buy a drink. So every drink that you sell is 100% profit. Is this going to turn around and make you the state champ? No, but here's something it is going to do. It's going to put a little extra money in your pocket for your program. And it's funny, when I started coaching football helmets, I remember the first time we paid over $100 for a football helmet. And now we all know what football helmets are. I think the Speed Flexes that we ordered this past year were close to $300 a piece. So you need every dime you can get. Streamline your charts. You think about, you got to keep up with the kid's height, weight, his cell phone number, his bench press, his squat, his power clean, his jersey size, his pants size, all this stuff. And I used to have multiple files. And I still have to have some multiple files, but I really like what we do with our charts. Let's just take, these are current. These are our 2018 weight charts, our seniors. Player number 1, we've got 22 of them, Austin Barnett. His jersey number is number 20. Right there is his height and weight, his position, his bench press workout. He's working out 235, workout 4. His squat max, which that determines his squat workout. His power clean max, 250. His 3-lift total, 890. His power rank, which that is just his 3-lift total divided by his body weight. His cell phone number, his physical, got the X right there. Now, that's just something that a lot of people don't ever think about. And, but you got to keep up with all the kids' physicals, or at least we do at our school. There's no administrative assistant to do that. So I've got to know, for example, when Nate's physical is going to expire in the middle of September because Larry and his mom wouldn't go get him one at the beginning of the season or wouldn't come to the physical day. I got to know that, because if something happens to Nate when he's out there playing and his physical's expired, that's on me. His t-shirt size, his short size, his 40-yard dash, and his PE period. So for me, it's made it a lot easier. I love the way we do our charts, and I'm not perfect. Look at the bottom, and I've got some blanks down there. Number 21, Tyler Warren. He's a kid that came into our program this year for the first time, and I haven't gotten it all done. So this is a good reminder for me to stay on top of what I need to do. So number 7, streamline your charts. Or number 6. Number 7, give every possible effort to help colleges find your players. A mom or a dad, a lot of times, will think that their son is a better player than he is, and B, they'll think that you can get their child a college scholarship. Well, first off, you can't. And secondly, that's not your responsibility. It's not my responsibility to go out and get every child in our program a college scholarship. My responsibility is to make them the best football player, try to make them the best person, try to make them the most responsible they can be. But a part of my job, I feel like, as the head football coach, is to do my best to get every possible college to look at them. So I'm going to explain our spring combine days. Hopefully everybody can see this. This is our spring 2017 prospect workout book. Colleges, we just finished up this past Friday. Yesterday was the last time that colleges could be on our campus until April. So this is our prospect day. On Wednesday, May the 1st, Wednesday, May the 10th, and Monday, May the 15th, we're going to bring our guys in that we think are college prospects, and we're going to work them out in front of college coaches. So what I'm going to do between now and May is I'm going to continually invite those coaches and remind them, hey, if you can be at school on Wednesday, May 2nd at 7 a.m. at our practice facility, you can watch our guys work out. So boom, we had over 30 people last year come into our various different prospect days. So in we come, 7 o'clock in the morning before school. Of course, keep in mind, we've come in on a Sunday afternoon and practiced this. But we come in and we're going to take the kids, and I'm going to take this, I'm going to hand it out to every coach that's there. We're going to take the kids, we're going to take them through about 10, 12 minutes on the weights, 10, 12 minutes on agilities, 30 to 35 minutes of some football-specific stuff, leave 10 to 15 minutes for the coaches to interact with them. We invite all the kids' parents to come so that the parents can meet the college coaches can meet the parents, and then the college coach is going to leave with this. Of course, it's got my contact number on there and one of our assistant coaches that helps us with this, but it's going to leave them with each kid, his Twitter handle, his address, his cell phone number, and then his most recent report card and his transcript. So that college football coach is going to leave, and he's going to know every prospect at Scott County High School. He's going to have his transcript. He's going to have his report card. And you think about this, how do you help get a kid a scholarship? First off, the kid's got to be a good player, all right? And he's got to have the grades. But the more people that watch ChiefPigskin.com, the more successful the company's going to be. The more college coaches that put their eyes on your players, the better the chance the child has to find a match for him. We found college coaches love it, and they repetitively will come to our school year after year. And they will say, hey, coach, thank you. You'd be amazed how many schools I go to where I have to chase down the kid's transcript, chase down his report card, or chase down the child. So give every possible effort to help colleges find your players. This will be a little different than a lot. I think that one thing that makes our program special is we give our players some time off, and we give our coaches some time off. When I first started coaching, and when I first started, I thought if you had to work 20 hours in the day and sleep 6, that's just what you had to do. And I was willing to do it. Well, I'm a hard worker. I wouldn't be up here at ChiefPigskin.com speaking on a Saturday if I didn't want to promote our program. But I like a little time off too. I used to go in over Christmas break and lift. I don't think that you should do that. Now, if you do it at your school and it's one of the most successful things you do, then you need to keep doing it because it works for your school. I want to give our players time off. I want to give them all of Christmas break. No weight room. I don't want to talk to them or see them. I'm going to run into them because they're friends with my son. They're going to be by the house, or one of my sons is going to be at one of their houses, but I want to take that time off. I also give our kids the entire month of June off, which is very different than most schools. We will finish up what we do in the spring. We will always come in the Tuesday after Memorial Day, and we'll work a 3-day mini camp, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, after Memorial Day. Sometimes we're in school and we do it right after school. Sometimes we're out of school and we'll do it at 9 o'clock in the morning. But when we finish that mini camp on the Thursday after Memorial Day, I'm cutting them loose till July the 10th. And it's about, almost a 6-week period. And some people, I know the first time that I've mentioned this or talked, you can see, remember I talked about 50% body language. You can see the people's body language to the group I'm speaking to, and they're like, that ain't gonna work. Well, I think it's great. I want our players and our coaches sharp, ready to roll, fired up, and motivated in November. And I believe they need some time away to do that. Saturday, when I played high school football, we went in and watched film on Saturday morning. When I started coaching high school football, that's what I knew, and the guy that I was working for, we watched film on Saturday morning. Then as I became a head coach, we watched film on Saturday morning. And here's what I found. I was dead tired. I never had a Saturday where it wasn't somebody dragging in a little bit late or missing for some reason or the other. And I just felt like everybody needs a day away. And so Saturday, we don't do anything. Now, do coaches watching great film at their home in their chair with an iPad? Absolutely. They know what their responsibilities are when they come in on Sunday. But as far as a coaching staff, from the time the game's over on Friday, which we have some coaches that grade their film on Friday night before they leave the field house. But Saturday's a day off. Give your coaches some time off. If you're a head coach, give those guys some time away. Bottom line, have everybody ready to roll in November. All right? It's kind of like a boxing match in August and September. You might take a couple tough shots and get your eyes blacked here and there, but your black eye is going to heal and your face is going to be smiling and ready for November. Take the field with flags. Might sound silly, might sound simple, you might not like it. We love it, and we've got a zillion compliments for it. As you can see in the picture, we're taking the field. That's the 2016 regional finals. We're playing Rowell High School. Coach Mike Engler does an outstanding job. They had Tanner Morgan was their quarterback. We were fortunate to win the game, one of the best games I've ever been a part of. And shout out to Coach Engler for the kind of class he was. That next Saturday, he's texting my phone and said, man, it was a great game. Best of luck to you all next week. I would have done the same thing if they had won. But here we come. Number 38's got an FFA flag. So what I've done is I've gone to the ag teacher at the school and I said, hey, we'd really like to carry an FFA flag out onto the field to support your all's program and let our guys that are in FFA that also play football feel good. Then you got a Marine flag. You got a United States flag. You got a Scott County flag. You've got a Wounded Warrior flag. You've got an Air Force flag. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 flags. So we're coming out on the field with 11 flags on a Friday night. In the background, you can see our run-through. And the lady that was in charge of the cheerleaders this year did a great job. And the cheerleading coaches over the years have been supportive of us. There was no such thing as a run-through when we started the program. And we're still not up to the level of some ones I've seen in Texas. Those suckers are unbelievable. But you can see right there in the picture where the girls are standing on each other's shoulders. We've got the poles taped together, and it's about a 15-footer, and the guys are coming through. I want to make our program special. I want our kids to feel just the same when they take the field right there, the way that Alabama and Georgia felt in the national championship. I don't want the guys at Georgia to have any more pride in being a Georgia Bulldog than I want the guys at Scott County High School to have pride in being a Scott County High School Cardinal. So, might be simple, but we think it's awesome, and we're going to take the field with as many flags as possible. Guys, I love football, and it's my passion, and that's what I would challenge you as a coach. As at the end of the day, the child that you coach, he gets one opportunity. It might be a ninth grade football game. Well, you know what? That child might not ever play varsity football. The only level of football that he's ever going to play might be ninth grade football. He deserves everything that you got. You got to give him your heart and your soul, and you got to put it into making him the very best football player he can be. You're not coaching high school football. You can make a good living, and I can take off on Christmas break, and I can sleep late, and I can take my boys and go eat at the Cracker Barrel. But I'm never going to make a huge amount of money coaching high school football. But what I can do is work with my passion every day. And if it's not your passion, then find something that is your passion. I love it. I'm 48 years old. Next year I'll be eligible to retire. I'll have my years in for retirement, and it's the farthest thing from my imagination. Next thing, we're looking for games for 2019 and 20. We have just started scheduling. So we have played out-of-state teams before. We played Cincinnati Moeller. We've played Cincinnati Elder. We played LaSalle. Funny story about we go to LaSalle this year. We're walking in. Neat place to play. Well coached. Good guys. As far as knowing the game, they treat you first class. They beat us. They might not have treated us as nicely if we'd won, but it was a great game. But anyway, you're walking out and you look up on the side of their school, and they've got 13 guys that have played in the NFL that went to that high school. And so we're very open to going out of state. And again, even though we didn't win that game, those kids that on our team are always going to remember playing the LaSalles and the Moelers and the Elders. Follow us on Twitter at cards_football and access this PowerPoint at any time at that website. And the easiest way to contact me is via email at coach.mckee@scott.kyschools.us. I want to go back and just review: 1, sell season tickets. 2, consider selling parking passes. 3, combine your fundraising efforts into one day, no cookie dough. Make pocket schedules. Stock your concession stand. Streamline your weightlifting and information charts. Give every possible effort to help colleges find your players. Give your players and some coaches some time off. Take the field this coming fall on Friday nights with flags. Kids love it. And follow your passion. That's the end of this presentation. We're going to take a break. I'm going to be back, and I'm going to talk about efficiently organizing a weekly practice schedule.